Welcome back for another tournament game review. Once again, the semi-final between the Chef against Villains. Villains lost the game very narrowly by a split push from Sneakzy on the Shinbi in the previous game, and here they come hungry to come back for a win because they were dominating the previous matches and they end up losing. And now their back is against the wall and they decided to pick aggressively with the Rictor Drongo, with the Grux on the offlane. And talking about the Grux in the offlane, that's what we are going to watch. Lobber on this character facing the Zarus, a bruiser matchup that can always be complicated if either one get ahead. And that's exactly what happened in that game. So let's learn from the best. This is the second match of the semi-final of Chef against Villains. For this match, Villains is now done a game after getting absolutely bamboozled by the sneak split push on the Shinbi previous game while being in control of the whole match. And so now we are going to focus on Lobbers on the offlane, and as usual, Villains kind of love to go for this grouping up as 5 people, trying to find a pickup. So far not really having any success here. Mav sees it and so just walking away. We got the double pane already leveled up from Lobber, which I feel it's a little bit surprising when you go for this type of invade. Maybe you won't get the CC chain going. That would be to the detriment of his laning phase afterwards. But I feel level 1, the smash and grab can actually be interesting into the fight, into the Grux to the Zarus to actually surprise him. But here it's gonna be Grux into Zarus as usual. Between bruiser type of character in the offlane, if someone get the early advantage and get quite far ahead, then it's almost unplayable, and the level 1 is at the advantage of the Zarus. But later on the matchup go back into favor of the Grux. And so here you can see Lobber stepping up, stopping NotW Oasis from being able to get this last hit, cutting a double pane. Double pane does more damage than Spear of the Near, but the cooldown of Spear of the Near is shorter if you don't throw it. And so that means, and also a higher range. So that's why the level 1 is highly in favor of the Zarus in that matchup. And so as the Grux, you kind of have to respect that. And probably that means that the Zarus is going to get the level 2 first. And here you need to respect that even more, because once you have a full advantage here, you can play, and you can see Lobber stepping back, not trying to step up to get any of those last hits. He knows that he will be taking too much damage, and so he will accept that the wave is going to crash under tower. And from that wave crashing under tower, he's gonna get the level 2. And then the wave is gonna be close to his own tower, and so he's gonna use that to maybe start fighting again. The thing that you have to be a little bit mindful when it comes to the Grux into Zarus matchup is if you go for the grab and the Zarus react with the barricade, then you have to be careful to not use your ability when the barricade is up, because otherwise you deal almost no damage. 60% damage reduction at the first level of the barricade, and that's actually pretty huge when it comes to trade. And so that's why you can't as easily just go for the combo with the damage. You have to respect this barricade. We try to go from behind here. We got the dash away. Mav is around, but also Happy Picker is around. The camera is pretty strong at that moment, and the Grux as well. And so they're gonna group up. They got the double grab. We force the flash away from Mav. We flash after Mav, which I think it's a mistake. We do miss the double pane. Lobber actually missing the E again. So Lobber, for me, making 4 mistakes in that situation. And thank you, Lilbai, for the raid. Welcome, welcome. So here, in this whole situation, I guess the Chimera plus Grux are much stronger than the Greystone plus Zarus at the level 3 from each side. But Lobber missing the crush on the engage initially, then going for a good smash and grab, but then instead of turning his face onto the Zarus to be guaranteeing that Happy Picker is safe, is trying to flash after Mav, which is a mistake in my opinion. You keep your flash, you get the flash of your offlaner, you can keep your flash while killing the Zarus. And then he still missed the double pane, missed the crush, and overall that could have been played way better, and that would have put Lobber in such a commanding position, because it was a mistake on the side of the Chef to take that fight. They don't win that 2v2 fight at all at the level 3, and unfortunately didn't pan out perfectly from some mistake from Lobber. But he still forced the Zarus back to base. We still got double flash overall. And we also get like an additional wave. So we should be having like one more component than his opponent. As you can see, Not Rebel Oasis already only have a short sword, while Lobber already have a short bow on top of it, a long bow, sorry. So Lobber is slightly ahead. And as you can see, it's also like already level 4 when he's coming back to the wave. Getting like a ward to see if Mav was going to rotate. And you can see that in terms of level, the barricade being used, the dodge being used, but in the end, like Not Rebel Oasis losing slightly more HP in that trade because the double pain is a lot of damage thanks to the Bloodlust passive. So here we're kind of even because, to be fair, in terms of short burst rate, the attack speed doesn't really matter. And Grux and Zarus are going for short trades. So this longbow, true, it's an additional component, but it doesn't do much when it comes to actual like damage and trade. And so here we're keeping the wave like kind of close. We see that Happy Picker hovering behind, going for the invade on the 5 camp. Not Rebel Oasis checking if Happy Picker is around, but Lobber is like completely fine, keeping the wave close to his tower. Not Rebel Oasis can't step up, it doesn't know where the enemy jungler is, and so you can just last it. Every time you can deny farm from the enemy offlaner while the enemy offlaner stay in lane, feel free to do so. And so here we have the wave that is starting to bounce back a little, but we will need one more wave before it fully bounces back. And here we're going like for the aggression. Happy Pickers coming, they know that they don't have the flash, but Not Rebel Oasis playing that very, very well, just like going for the disengage. And on the other side, the chef actually like going immediately for the Fang Tooth, realizing that Happy Picker is in this dual lane, this off lane, and so they take advantage of it. So overall, like this whole situation put the chef ahead because they didn't get anything on the off lane, while on the other side of the map they get the Fang Tooth. And this is why, like in my offlane guide video, I said like if a gank is not successful, well, actually that put the enemy team ahead. So that's why like when you're an offlaner, your job when you get gank is not really to do anything special. It's just like survive, and that puts your team ahead. So we got the level 6 now on the side of Lobber, so Not Rebel Oasis can never step up. Otherwise, like you just get ult and then auto attack, and you're dead. That means that we're gonna secure the teal buff, putting Lobber slightly ahead, continuing a little bit the advantage he was already having. And so here we can see we're still last hitting, because like you can crush the wave, but if you crush the wave, that means that you give like all the farm to Not Rebel Oasis. If you let like those minions like kill like a slow push like that, that means that maybe you can like actually like deny the cannon at some point. That's why like I kind of like the aggression. I don't really like the fact that he auto attack afterwards, because that means that then the cannon doesn't die from like the exchange of minion. And here we go for the ultimate. Very, very well good placement by Lobber, and Lobber find a solo kill. And so we're gonna watch again like this little movement, because it's a very well played situation. You can see Lobber engaging with the E, and then like he knows that Not Rebel Oasis doesn't have flash because they forced it earlier. And so Lobber go behind him so to use the wild shaman. I would have seen like so many Grux stay in that side. No, Lobber goes behind, and because he goes behind, and then you can see like this little step to space a little bit away. So Not Rebel Oasis, even if he used the evade, it's not enough. Lobber is still in a position to keep the chase and secure the solo kill for himself. Then he's low on life and mana, but he knows that he needs to crash that wave, so the wave can actually bounce back and he doesn't lose too much. So he's gonna like force it. He also have information that probably Mav is on the other side of the map, and so we crash the wave before we reset back to base. And here like Lobber is in full control of that lane from now. But you see how those little positioning actually make the whole difference. If Lobber stayed like in front of Zarus, Zarus would have just evade away and probably the smash and grab wouldn't be enough to grab him back. And so like those little micro positioning as a Grux is actually very important if you don't want people to just like be able to kite you away. And so we have the Sky Splitter that is finished. If we look on the other side of Not Rebel Oasis, we don't have the augmentation finish. So here like this Grux is absolutely monstrous. And the problem is also if we look here, Lobber is trying like to zone even the experience from the cannon or like even like stopping the spear, but the wave is slowly pushing into the other direction. So that means that if Lobber wanted, he could have like let like all those minions die. But his team is going for the mini prime, so he kind of want to rotate for the mini prime, so that's why like he cleared the wave very fast. To be fair, I don't feel like Lobber needed to rotate for this mini prime so far. They're gonna secure it, and now they're coming. We do gonna see a fight. We get the flash immediately from Lobber. They don't want to fight into the 5 people of the other side. I feel like Lobber flashing a little bit early. They accept that Happy Picker is going to die, but they do secure the mini prime, but mini prime is lost, I guess. Maybe it is on the mid laner, I'm not sure. But yeah, trying to get priority, but in the end, they completely sacrifice. 5 people rotating to that mini prime on the side of the chef. They don't get the mini prime, they just get 1 kill. So overall, big W for the side of villains. I still feel like the flash was a little bit early. There was like maybe like a little bit more temporization you can do. Trying like to maybe find like a counter engage jungle at some point. Something, because you're pretty big. Like you get the Sky Splitter like in that team fight. I think like probably it was like one of the only guys that finished fully an item. And so before people go back to base, and they can probably like take advantage of that. Not so sure what that ultimate was about. Like I understand the way we want like to just apply pressure, zone the opponents out, but so here we want to crash the wave very fast because we want to get the teal buff, we want to reset to get our crest. Probably the opponent doesn't have crest yet, and so we want to take advantage of that timing once again. And that's why like here we see Lobber getting teal buff, going back to base, gonna spend 1300 gold. Not Rebel Oasis coming back. Still haven't finished augmentation, which is very bad. Like here, on the side of Not Rebel Oasis, going back without finishing augmentation is a big blowout. Because we get Ruthless Broadsword, Icecorn Talon. Like this offlane can't be played at all. And so here we can see that probably Lobber assumed that Not Rebel Oasis is going to be scared and not hard push like crazy, and so we got the rotation of Lobber into that Fang Tooth. They do end up like stealing the Fang Tooth, and now we get like the team fight here. Lobber doesn't have his ultimate though, so not as impactful as it could be. He's getting like a lot of damage in, but in the end he survived. I have to admit, like in terms of ability utilization, like there is like some like wonderful aspect, but here I feel like it's just like press W and try to auto attack and not really like use his ability to the full potential. The fact that he used his ultimate earlier mean that he doesn't have his ultimate for this team fight. That would have been an absolute blowout. So there is some moment I like the Grux of Lobber, and there is some moment I dislike the Grux from Lobber so far. But he's coming back. He only lose like 1 wave for this full rotation, getting like a lot of kill for his teammate and himself, securing the Fang Tooth, and also like not losing his tower in the process. So Not Rebel Oasis catching up a little bit from that situation, but he's still like 37 CS down. So you have to be careful as Zarus when you throw your spear like that, because you want to not touch the other minion, just the minion you're trying to get the last hit. The reason is because here you can see the spear hit the back minion. That means that now the wave is going to push in the direction of Lobber, and so you're gonna get like zone. So that's something you have to be very careful when you try to farm with the spear, is to actually like not touch multiple minions, because otherwise the wave will never push back towards you. And here Lobber is still like getting ahead by playing like that here. You can see the spear touch like multiple minions, so wave is still like kind of even. We're maybe gonna see like Lobber trying to be aggressive on the timing of the cannon. He's just stepping back here because Mav is probably around and NotW is stepping up. And he checked, he see that he's on the 3 camp, so he's not like gonna like risk it here at high level. When you're in a 1v2, it's actually like very, very tough. So Mav is gonna step up. Lobber crushing away immediately to not be engaged, and it's just gonna farm on the tower. They're trying like to force the tower. We use the very fast clear of the Grux, even using the ultimate. I feel like the ultimate is maybe a little bit too much. The Icecorn Talon though was very good. You stop like the enemy team from being able to step up. And here we accept to lose the teal buff, but we don't want Mav to be able to go away, so, or at least not invade the blue buff. So Lobber on cover duty here and protecting his own team jungle.
An allied tower is destroyed. An enemy has fallen.
So on the side of NotW Oasis, we still haven't finished the augmentation. He's finally going back to base to finish the augmentation, but Lobber is almost like finishing his second item, so... So we get the evade away. Kind of like a mind game here between the two players. Like NotW is going back to base, inciting Lobber to hard crush the wave. Lobber going for it, so NotW is cancelling the back. And then like Lobber baiting a back to force like NotW, and we're kind of going like for this thing. And every time you hard crush the wave, NotW is forced to stay. So basically Lobber is in the full control of when NotW is going back to base. And that's the problem when you play on the back foot in the offlane, is you actually like always a tempo down. And here you can see Lobber is backing, finishing another power spike, getting the Basilisk, while the power spike of NotW Oasis is not going to be as good because he doesn't control exactly when he go back to base. So here we're looking around. I guess Mini Prime is going to... Mini Prime has respawned, so maybe like teams want to go for it. We do the ward here, so that's pretty nice. We're gonna get like double ward out of Shi immediately, so she only have like one more ward left, and maybe it's already like being placed. This Nabash needs to be careful because he's level 8, and like Basilisk Sky Splitter will absolutely shred him. NotW Oasis is back. He's actually like pretty tanky. And now we got Shi coming back as well, so we get the flash out of Lobber. We get the augmentation, Phoenix being completed, so I don't think there is like much kill potential on NotW Oasis anymore. Lobber is looking for the fight, we're trying to go, but it's a 2v4 so far. We go for like a perfect like 4-man smash and grab, and now we're gonna Grux. We're gonna Grux, auto-attacking, we got the Phoenix, Shay is dead, we're gonna keep auto-attacking, we get the crush at the end of the Phoenix, and... yeah, Lobber's Gruxxing. Big mistake on the side of the chef to go for like a position that triple wireless challenge into Quadra smash and grab. And now like Lobber 5-0 and 4, it's absolutely like unstoppable force. He's gonna secure, on top of the fact that his team is securing Mini Prime, he's gonna secure his tier 1 tower. That's such a huge gold and experience swing here for the side of villains, that the chef is actually like so far behind now. That is like a really uphill battle to fight from no one.
Allied tower under attack.
So now we're rotating toward the Fangtus. To be fair, on the side of the chef, I think they should have simply tried to trade objective, getting a Fangtus for themselves, because now they're gonna lose also the Fangtus, because realistically speaking, they can't really fight. Cold is on the opposite side of the map, trying to get like as much farm as he can, while the full team of villains is around. So maybe they're gonna lose like the tier 1 tower onto the offlane, so at least the chef getting something out of that like heavy rotation from the side of villains. but that's gonna be all they get, like a tier 1 tower in the offlane, while losing like the third Fangtus of the game, which means that the next respawn, which will be a primal Fangtus, is something they probably have to contest, because otherwise it's triple Fangtus, and triple Fangtus is always like something, it's not like game winning, but it's something you're not happy to see the enemy team have. So we got the farming, we're gonna like set up the wave again. Here there is nothing to be found on the map until the respawn of the big ore prime. So in 1 minute and 30 seconds, so you can simply like push back. And here with the situation in the offlane where both like tier 1 tower has been killed, so like the freezing aspect is not really important anymore. What you should be doing is trying like to create like space on the map, and to create space on the map you need to push wave. And here that's exactly what Lobber is doing. Probably have the info that a lot of people are on the left side of the map, so it's just like going like very aggressively, crushing the wave and then rotating. Here usually you can't really push the tier 2 tower unless your teammate are applying pressure somewhere else, but here it's not the case, so you can't go for that tier 2 tower, because going for that tier 2 tower would expose you a little bit too much. And so here is simply like going for like a little invade in the jungle. And hello, Mr. Med. Then we kind of like rotate toward the other side of the map after we push like the wave on offlane, and we try to create like a numerical advantage somewhere else. As you can see here, like the team is kind of trying to collapse towards the left lane. I kind of would have loved to see a little bit like pressure onto the mid lane, and then they like the pressure together, both the dual lane and the mid lane, like as they see that NotW Oasis is on the offlane, so they can create a 5v4 on this side of the map. They take advantage of this 5v4 to actually like invade a little bit the jungle, and they also secure the tier 2 tower on the dual lane, so that's very well played by the side of villains. And now they're just gonna reset, spend the gold that they have acquired through like all those little plays, and then gonna defend also like the split push of NotW Oasis in the form of the Iggy and Scorch from Bry. I can imagine, Mr. Meds. Work training is usually the moment you just AFK until you reach like the quiz at the end. Hello, Clearcast. It's been a while. So everyone is grouping around the ore prime here, as we can see. We're finally going back to the confrontation between NotW Oasis against Lobber, but Lobber is like 2 level up fully. He has finished the legacy, while his opponent only like still working towards his second item, that I think it's a tectonic mallet. But nothing resulted out of that. Rotating towards mid, getting the flash out of Sneaks, but we flash afterwards. We get the smash and grab, we get like the ultimate from like the Murdoch on Laconator, and that's a pick being found, and that's also like a Bellica flash down for the next 5 minutes. So, and Bellica was was the higher level player on the side of the chef, so losing Sneaksy here is actually very damaging. They're kind of like trying to look for a bait. We can see that Toasty is going like very aggressively to Mav, trying like to find like another pickup, and at the same time they kind of collapsing in the mid lane. They do find Laconator being completely alone. I'm not so sure why. Laconator just like stayed far away from everyone while everyone was chasing, and in the end like this whole situation is not come to an halt. It was like a good pick on Sneaksy in mid, but Laconator dying like completely like stopped all attempt from the villains to actually get this all prime. So we're still like looking around this ore prime. The primal Fangtus is also going to respawn pretty soon. once again, NotW Oasis can't really like do much against like these Grux. He's forced to accept that he's never get prio into that Grux because of like how the early game has gone. To be fair, little bit of mistake on the side of the chef, not really understanding when are their timing to actually fight, and so they get punished pretty hard. Perfect choice play, thanks a lot, so I can like start pumping out a little bit the videos for YouTube afterwards. You're the best. So here we're grouping up. For those that are looking Grux, here we can see that I think as Grux you always max double pain first, but then I guess you kind of have a choice between the crush and the smash and grab. Usually people prefer to max the crush, so they get like a little bit less downtime around their ability, but maxing the smash and grab allow your crush and smash and grab to be at the exact same cooldown, and so then you have like more wombo combo. So it's kind of like a trade-off. Overall, in terms of pure DPS, it's slightly better to max the crush. But I think it's like the second ability, like the ability to max second, I think it's like depending on what you feel better. But I think Crush is overall like slightly more better when it comes to an all-rounder like solution. So here we can see like Lobber is just like trying to limit the pressure that the chef is applying while the rest of his team is doing the Primal Fangtus. So here Lobber, his job is just like to defend while the rest of the team is doing the objective. Grux is very strong at clearing wave as he has done here. And so even if there is like this 4-player around, they can't get the inhibitor, so it's true they secure like a tier 2 tower, but at the cost of a Primal Fangtus while the Ore Prime is still on the map, and that was a triple Fangtus. So Villains understanding like that they were sacrificing a little bit of structure for the greater good, and here like Villains is in complete control of that game. They can like force this 5v5 team fight with absolutely no problem because they have the Primal Fangtus, they have triple Fangtus, they are ahead in terms of farm, and so that's gonna be like a double buff timing, and that's also like allow them to actually like then if they want keep applying pressure and probably secure the game from like that double buff situation while being that far ahead.
Allied towers destroyed.
So here, the Grux is going probably for the split push by himself. Lobber level 16, the higher level in this game, and he's 2 levels ahead of anyone else, even his own teammate. And so like here, with a double buff on top of it, the first item finish, we got the Stone Wall to be able to resist to the damage from like this Zarus, this Greystone, this Twin Blast. Like this Grux is not dying anytime soon, as on top of that with the Legacy, and so Lobber is completely fine to split push. Once again, I don't know if people remember from like our video from watching Pablo's point of view, when you split push, you need to have to be a little bit careful and always ask yourself, how many people can I see and can I win like against like that many people? And here you can see like Lobber is seeing 2 people, Sneaksy and NotW Oasis. In the mid lane, they have the information on the Greystone, and on the right lane, they have the information on the Twin Blast and Narbash. So Lobber said like, okay, I can only have Zarus and Belika against me. With this whole wave, I'm fine. I can be aggressive here because they don't have enough firepower to contest me. And so this is what they're going for here. NotW Oasis going like for the ultimate, but it's just like the Coliseum being like thrown away at that point. It's a very, very weird use of the Coliseum, especially since when you're behind, you need as many ultimate and as many like combo you can get, and just like throwing away an ultimate for like kind of trying to defend a tier 2 tower is definitely not the play at that moment. And so NotW Oasis are completely like just like, yeah, thrown away an ultimate for no reason. So here, like every single lane is getting pressured. Like the idea is not really like fully getting the inhibitor because you can't really. The idea is kind of chipping away at the defenses. And his team on the side of Lobber, like on the side of Villains, they already secure the tier the first inhibitor. And so here, as Lobber, your job is to keep like pressuring. As you can see, like he's destroying NotW Oasis, and so here he can actually like be very aggressive on the inhibitor, and I think you don't go for not triple resist here. You should go for the inhibitor. You don't need to go for that kill at all. We're taking a lot of damage. That was free inhibitor, and here Lobber doesn't even go for the inhibitor, then he's collapsing on the right side. I think that's a very bad play. 2 mistakes in a row in my opinion on the side of Lobber, because not triple oasis has arrived. This inhibitor end up falling, so at least like they secure the inhibitor, so that was like a good timing. But I still like would have preferred him not chasing not triple oasis, just securing the inhibitor and then rotating to his teammate while having like still everything up, instead of trying like to force it in that solution. And so we secure triple inhibitor with the double buff, primal plus all prime. And then we're just like gonna, oh, they're trying to go like for a little trap. Unfortunately the trap doesn't function, but Happy Picker is still fighting against not triple oasis. We get the grab onto Sneaksy. Sneaksy gets absolutely like deleted by the wombo combo from Lobber. The chef like not really respecting the fact that people are around. Lobber trying like to get the kill onto Shi, but I don't think you will ever catch Shi, simply because she got the march and he maxed the march first, so like you're not catching that Narbash anytime soon. But actually we're going for it. I guess like the base move speed is stronger on Lobber. He's actually like walking super fast. Like Narbash move speed, like base move speed is actually like very slow. So for me, I thought he was never gonna catch him. In the end, he actually like successfully do so. But the idea was also like simply to just guarantee that she can never go back to base, and then they can secure like the kill of the core. So a very kind of clean game by Lobber, 7-0 and 5. So in terms of KDA, it's absolutely super clean. I still feel like in terms of like ability usage, there was like a little bit of approximation and some like stellar moment. But yeah, as a Grux, we can see like it dominated the early game. I feel like going for a Phoenix against a Grux that stops you from actually like playing the game at all, I think it's very, very bad. And yeah, that's basically it.